As the financial crisis ripples across global markets, one former SEC chairman is calling for an overhaul of the financial regulatory system. Joining me now, Harvey Pitt, former SEC chairman and CEO and founder of Kalorama Partners. Great to see you, Mr. Pitt.
It's good to be with you.
What does your overhaul proposal entail?
Well, I think we need to have all financial services institutions regulated comparably and have broad authority in the government to deal with unexpected crises. Those were the missing pieces in the current crisis, and hopefully we can readjust our regulatory regime to provide that.
And the chances that we go too far?
The chances that we'll go too far, I'd put it about 95%. Unfortunately, Congress responds to so-called thalidomide cases, and the crisis in our financial markets right now certainly qualifies by that description.
If we were to do it right, do you have the right formula to prevent this from happening, but to keep the market as free as possible?
I wish I did, but I'm not that arrogant. I have some thoughts on things we need to do, but I do think one of the most important things we need to do is to provide greater transparency in the markets. That's been missing, and that, in a large measure, is what caused so much of the rubble of our financial markets in this latest crisis.
We thought there was transparency, though. We thought that S&P and Moody's and Fitch, had the transparency to look at a lot of these vehicles and decide, what the safety, what the ratings should be. Did they not? I didn't hear them complaining about transparency.
Well, I think the transparency really relates to the fact that you had so many firms that were over-leveraged, overextended, and didn't even know how leveraged they were. Moreover, people in the marketplace and their counterparties had no idea how leveraged they were. What that did was it fueled panic and fear, and it's produced this gargantuan run on the bank with the unfortunate news that today everyone's a bank.
Mm-hmm. Well, what would we do then? Would we put a number down as what the maximum leverage an investment bank, well, there aren't any left, but if there were an investment bank left, the maximum amount of leverage that they could take on?
I don't think we need to go quite that far, although I think the government should have the ultimate authority. What I do think we need to do is have a steady and continuous flow of data. How leveraged are people? What are their commitments and the like? And what is the status of the market? What really happened here was that because the markets have now become so interconnected and interrelated, the lack of any current data on how firms were leveraged and what their issues were made it impossible for the government regulators to step in when they needed to and take significant action to prevent some of the disaster we've seen.
What should we do with the credit default issue?
Well, I've seen proposals, for example, that we ban them and so on. Again, my view on all of these instruments is they have legitimate purposes. What's important is for whoever the systemic regulator in our economy is, and presumably, at least at the moment, that's going to be the Fed, has to know just how leveraged people are, what the impact of the positions held are, and be capable of either warning firms or requiring firms to cut back on their leverage before the situation gets out of control.
How are you feeling right now about our prospects just to emerge from this? We're going to be okay?
I'm sorry, how am I feeling?
Our ability for the financial system. A year from now, will we be able to look back and say, wow, we made it through this and we're in a healing process?
Well, I think we're going to get through it. I frankly think we have a lot worse things to go through. I don't think we've seen the complete bottom of the market. I don't think we've seen the effect on corporations. We're seeing layoffs announced all over. Asia, I think, is about to go into an incredible downward spiral. So I think it's going to take us a while to hit bottom and then regroup. But American ingenuity is phenomenal, and I really believe we will come out better and stronger It's just going to take us a while to get there.
Mr. Chairman Pitt, I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Anytime.
Okay, Harvey Pitt.